All right, man. So in 2017, the Bitcoin bull run, it started Bitcoin off at $893, and it went all the way to 19,800 and something, 687, something like that. And it did that. That's like, from January 1st to January 1st, that time frame is when it did that. What was driving the bull run, and this happens every 4 years, is that Bitcoin has a fixed supply, so we know there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins. That's how much the network exists in the network, okay? The network kicks out a certain amount every day. And then every 4 years, an event occurs in the network called the halvening, or the network, which was spitting out, 1,800 Bitcoin a day, now cuts that in half to 900 Bitcoin a day. All right. So now the network kicks out 900 Bitcoin every day. When you do that, so like when you have a market with a supply that's constant, and you have a market over a period of 3 to 4 years gets acclimated to that constant supply, and you have new investors coming into that market, trading on that fixed or constant supply, right? And then you cut it in half. You trigger what's called a supply shock, and it's a supply shock that occurs for the entire market. And when that happens, it forces the market now to rediscover the new price of Bitcoin based on the amount of new investors coming in and the amount of new supply of Bitcoin that's entering the market. All right, so this supply shock triggers a bull run, and typically in this bull run, like last time, you get like a 2,000% increase over the period of a year. The most significant part of that increase comes in the months of November to December. Now, last time we had a bull run, it was insane because everybody was like, yo, at 4,000, at 3,000 and 4,000, people were like, dude, are we living in bizarro world? Like a $4,000 Bitcoin, that's insane, right? And it went all the way up to 20. And now we're sitting at 63, or 64K actually, is what we broke just now. And we're trying to break the new all-time high, which is around like 64,800 and something. I want you to understand something, that this bubble has not popped yet. All right. So a lot of people ask me, when am I going to sell? And ideally, I would like to not ever sell, right? And I was really thinking earlier in the year that maybe I don't have to, because adoption looks like it's growing so rapidly. We had Elon Musk putting Bitcoin, at the center of the coffee table for a discussion. You know what I mean? And so I thought that maybe, this adoption thing was really going to take off, and as more and more people accept Bitcoin, then I don't got to sell, right? Like I could just spend my coin. You know what I mean? Or Ethereum or whatever, whatever coin it is. So now, I'm kind of rethinking that position, that maybe it would be good to sell at a certain period of time, and then buy back in, right? Because I don't want to be out of crypto, but I do want to take advantage of the gains I currently made and come back in when, the price drops. And I think that's going to happen again. But regardless, it's still probably the greatest time ever to be in Bitcoin, with the fastest potential upside. And, this could be the very last time we run a cycle in this kind of way, where Bitcoin climbs 2,000% and then drops 80% or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is like one of the rare last times that is probably going to happen. In my opinion, I could be totally wrong. I have no idea. Okay. So anyway, where was I going with all that? My bad, y'all. I was going somewhere with all that. Oh, look, last time it was only purely hype. Like it was just the price was going so fast. Like Bitcoin hit $1,000, and then it hit 1,500. You know what I mean? And then 25, and it was like, whoa, what the hell? Bitcoin just did, 150% in like 2 months. You know what I'm saying? And in the stock world, it's crazy. The stock world is nuts. In the crypto world, it's like, it's pretty good. But in the stock world, it's insane, right? And so people were really looking at it now, like, yo, what is this? What's going on? And there was a ton of hype. And then you had altcoins like Ethereum going crazy, dude, going insane. From $8 in the beginning of the year to $300, around November or December. Actually, no. It was like $300 at the end of October, right? Like it's kind of like what Solana was doing or did. And then on top of that, you had BitConnect, which, if you're familiar with BitConnect, people were making ungodly amounts of money just literally parking their coin there and letting a trading bot, which is all a scam, it was all fake, but letting a trading bot, accrue an interest of 1% per day. You know what I mean? Like that's all they needed. But people, some people put like 3 or 4 Bitcoin or 5 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin. And at the time, 10 Bitcoin was like $25,000. You know what I mean? Parking it there and doing 1% per day, over a 10-month period, making stupid gains. Okay, really stupid gains. And so there was a ton of money being made in the market, but it was still such a little baby market, bro. Like it didn't climb anywhere near $1 trillion market like where we're at today. The whole time it was nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? It was still in the like low $100 billion market value. You know what I'm saying? There was literally nothing. Like we did not have regulators talking about or implementing ETFs. At the time, I think the richest dude in the world was still Bill Gates. Like he wasn't talking about crypto. You couldn't do a whole lot. You couldn't do as much as you can do now with crypto back then. The market was extremely immature, dude. Extremely immature. And we still hit 20K from $800. Things are wildly different. This go around, my friends, things are very different. This is not your granddaddy's crypto market. Okay? It's not. And it's important to recognize that. Now, look, man, last run, a whole lot of people sold prematurely. A whole lot of people had Bitcoin at $1,000 or whatever, and Bitcoin went to 7,000 or 8,000. They're like, oh yeah, way too high. I'm out. I'm done. There's no way. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. And then missed out on an extra 13K per Bitcoin, dude. You know what I mean? Man, And then with Ethereum, dude, like people, I remember buying Ethereum for like $20 and $30, dude. I remember, you know what I mean? I remember having hundreds of thousands of Doge for nothing, for absolutely nothing, bro. Just like I didn't know what I was doing. I was just buying stuff, But that was how the market was, man. It was a very baby market. It was nothing really backing it like that. Today, a country made it legal tender. More countries are expressing extreme interest in doing the same thing. We have ETFs now. China is out of the picture. China was big FUD back then. Tether was huge FUD back then. Everybody was saying, man, Tether, it's gonna pop it. But once they audit Tether, you guys, it's over. Because stable coins was like a relatively new, kind of coin back then, and it wasn't as prevalent as it is right now. And so people had a lot to say about it, and whether they were correct or not, right? It's very different this time, man. Look, if you made it this far, if you made it all the way from January or March or May, the death month, you know what I mean? If you made it from there all the way to now, this is not the time to be paper towel hands, toilet paper hands, okay? Now is not the time for that, all right? Hodl. I know it's going to be tough, man, because you're going to be seeing gains, and you're going to want to pull out. So a lot of people ask me, all right, man, if you're going to sell, when are you going to sell? I don't pick a price to sell, even though you could do that as a strategy. Like if you're kind of skittish and you don't want to be too crazy with it, pick a price and just get out at that price. You don't have to be greedy. But the way I look at it, because the crypto market is so unpredictable, I look at market structure, right? Same reason why I didn't sell, back in May when it dumped 50%. It's the same thing, right? Like I'm looking for market structure. I'm not looking for price. You know what I'm saying? This is a big difference here, okay? I'm looking for the parabolic structure. So, when you have the chart that goes like this and it goes way up like a straight line, that's what I'm looking for. When you see that, like a really high one, you know what I mean? 2, 3, 4 candles in a row, big ones, you know what I mean, on the day chart. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very high looking price. That's when I would sell. I wouldn't sell before that. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, really. And I'm not trying to time the top. Me personally, what I'm looking at is, it would be great to time the top. And, if you can time the top, awesome. You know what I mean? Time the top. But to me, that's like trying to catch, a falling knife or a rising knife or whatever the saying goes in trading. But for me, what I'd rather do is I'd rather let it hit the top and let the top blow off. Because, if I was going to sell early, I was going to sell early anyway, right? But the thing about price is you can catch it on the way up and on the way down. So let's say Bitcoin, and I'm just throwing some numbers out here. Let's say Bitcoin goes to the max 250K. I might feel scared at 150, 175, 120, I might feel scared, you know what I mean? But I might feel scared there and I might want to sell. But if my strategy is, okay, I don't really have to sell at 150, because if it blows off, blow off top is when it hits the a price and that price becomes a ceiling. It becomes a resistance level for it and it drops back down, right? If I don't, so if I let the price blow off and hit that resistance and then catch it on the way down, right? Then I'm like, okay, at least I figured out what the top was. You know what I'm saying? Instead of staying in just to stay in and then, instead of selling because I don't want to find the top, right? And so I don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be, but for me, I'm not looking at price. I'm looking at the market structure. And then not only is it a blow off top, right? But is it whales moving massive amounts of Bitcoin to exchanges? You know what I'm saying? Is it a bunch of brand new wallets accumulating Bitcoin while that's happening? Is it exchange supply now ballooning and going crazy, right? Those are the things you want to look for, to let you know that you may want to consider selling, and everybody's different. Everybody has their own thing. If you follow traders, you're going to listen to like 70,000 of them, and they're all going to say something just a little bit different. They're all going to have like a little bit of a different strategy, that they're going to implement. This is just mine, okay? I'm not, not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, it's just mine. But, okay, now altcoins. Altcoins are going insane. This Q4, altcoins go nuts. Go absolutely ridiculous, okay? XRP went from 23 cents to $3.29, bro. It's crazy numbers. It's crazy numbers, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Imagine you had, $100 worth of XRP, and this thing goes to like $1,300 from $100. It's pretty good in a month's time. So buying it sooner, buying it earlier probably gives you, a better price. And that's the thing about, I've been saying it from the beginning, man. It's not about price, it's about date. It's about the date you get in, right? And, you could buy it once and set it and forget it, but I would just keep adding to the position. Throwing something in there, a few $100, few thousand, whatever you could afford. A few, $20, $30, $50, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it in there just to add to the position. Because you're going to get it back anyway. And, I know, I can't guarantee you anything, right? And I don't. But It's Q4. They just did an ETF. You know what I mean? They just did two ETFs. Two ETFs that are also becoming the largest and most profitable ETFs on their first day. You know what I mean? Like if you add up, if you compare all the first days of ETFs, these two ETFs blow almost everything out of the water. You know what I mean? There's a lot of institutional attention. There's a lot of, hype. But we haven't even started the hype part yet. We haven't started the FOMO yet. There's still a lot of people who are skittish. I think. And here's the other thing, right? When you look at market structure, right? For me, anyway, the way I'm looking at it is if we do a slow, steady climb to 200K and not a parabolic, spike up like that. If we just do like a little slow, like, oh, this is really boring. It's just climbing and climbing and climbing all the way to 200K, dude. Then I probably wouldn't sell even at 200K because I'm not looking at price. I'm looking at market structure. And if we're just climbing steadily to that, then I'm still waiting for my spike. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting for that. That's going to let you know that we've made it way too far. And it's kind of like looking at a cliff that's really, really high. You know what I mean? Like, looking down it, you get a little scared, man. You get a little weary about it. And that's what you want to look for. Man, all coins are going to go absolutely nuts. All right, so bear market comes. What are you doing, Teddy? Here's what I think I'm going to do. First off, this is what I recommend. Okay, so you got into the Bitcoin bull market. You put in your position. You waited. You bought. I mean, you bought, then you waited, and the market takes off. It goes crazy. It does what you said, what you wanted it to do. Great. You sell into massive profits. Congratulations. Throw a party. What I would do is I would hold that value in a USD stable coin, like a Tether. Since they just got audited, I guess they're fine. But the USD Terra, there's USDC, which I think is Cardano's coin. There's BUSD, Binance's USD. I would throw it into a USD stable coin because a USD stable coin allows you to maintain that USD value of, your position, your portfolio. And I would exit, I hate to say this, I would probably exit all the coins. I'd dump everything and just go into USD stablecoin. And the thing about USD Terra, we do USD Terra. The thing about that is they give you 20% APY. And so while the market might be on fire, burning down, you're getting 20% APY on your Terra. You know what I mean? It's pretty good. If you ask me, it's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's it called? When you now, like, I know you're thinking, right? Like, okay, man, if I just keep it in USD Terra, when do I get to spend it? You know what I mean? I'm trying to get a Lambo. I want to buy a new crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, okay. So I feel you, and I'm on the same page with you. I like those. I like to do that too. Probably would never buy a Lambo. I'd probably get a Tesla, but just because I like a Lambo, like you're spending way too much money on a car, like just way too much. Anyway, so what I would do is this, right? So here's the thing, is when you exit out of the market and you sell all your stuff for profit, you are guaranteed to get hit with a tax liability there. Like that's a taxable event. You now owe money. And if it's a large amount of money, you just had a large amount of money crash your bank account, from a crypto exchange, you're gonna get hit with capital gains. You're gonna have to pay it, right? For sure. You technically have to pay it when you sell out of that coin into USDT. You do. That's a taxable event, okay? It's a taxable event, okay? But what I would do is I would pay my appropriate taxes when I cash out, okay? So when I cash out from USD Terra, okay, which Terra is it's a decentralized exchange now. You know what I'm saying? It's a DEX. Nobody controls it. But when I cash out from USD Terra, I'll only cash out what I need. What I need at the time. And I wouldn't go Lambo shopping right after the bull run ends. I wouldn't do that. Right after that blow off top, we hit the top and we're done, I would not go Lambo shopping then. Because you're spending money that was investment capital which is a good idea fundamentally, but you want to secure a reinvestment, you know what I'm saying? So that, you know, you're good. Now, you take that money and you go buy real estate or you buy a business or whatever, kudos to you. You've done something to reinvest that money somewhere, and you know, now that money can grow and make you more money again in the future, right? But if you're just in crypto, which is cool, you know, like myself, right? What I would do is hodl in USD Terra, get my 20%, wait about 6 months to a year, or whenever the market decides to come back up again, and rebuy back in now at a lower price. So for example, let's say Bitcoin hits 200K, let's just say I sold at 200K, and then now I have my 200K value. Let's just say I had a whole Bitcoin. Let's just say, if I had a whole Bitcoin and I had 200K there, and the market tanks and it crashes, and let's say it crashes 75%, right? Now, because look, what I want to do is accumulate Bitcoin. I don't want to accumulate US dollars. That's no good to me, because there's another entity out there that's literally depleting the value of US dollars as we speak. So leaving it in USD Terra, I at least beat inflation or am on par with it, right? Now, when that crash comes and Bitcoin loses 75% of its value or whatever it loses, maybe it's 50, maybe it's 30, maybe it's 75. Whatever it loses, right? Let's say it's 75, like typically what's happened in the past. Now my 200K from that one Bitcoin can go and buy 4 Bitcoin total. Okay? It could go and buy 4 Bitcoin total. Now I got 4 Bitcoin. And look, the crypto market, if I buy at the bottom, like, yo, anything that happens after that is going to make me money. All right? It makes me money. You know what I'm saying? So let's say you had 4 Bitcoin, and so it's 50 thou a pop. It's at the bottom of the market, which is 50 thou. It's 4 Bitcoin. Let's just say, you know, you decide, hey, you know what? One of those Bitcoin is going to be for me to do as I wish. Okay? Just to do as I wish. I just want to do whatever I want. So that's one of those Bitcoin is going to do that, right? If the other 3, which is now valued at 150K, if that doubles in value, if Bitcoin goes back to 100,000, which, you know, in a bear market, Bitcoin still does moves like that. You know what I'm saying? It still does that. It could go to 130. You know what I mean? From 50K. Like 50K was just the bottom. 3,800 was the bottom last time, and we spent many months trading between 7 and 13K repeatedly. You know what I mean? If we didn't have that March, you know, death spiral for all the markets, you know, we probably could have done we probably could have hit this bull run even sooner. You know what I mean? So so now that you have that 3 Bitcoin, it's 350 or 300K, sorry, 150K, and you rebought, and Bitcoin you bought at the bottom. Now you have that 50K that's still sitting in Bitcoin that you could pull from whenever you need and not feel guilty, because it's part of your strategy, it's part of your plan. You know what I'm saying? Now, as that's accruing value, it's accruing gains as an investment, even during the bear market, because you bought at the bottom. Now you can decide to take whatever you want to take and go and roll with it. You know what I mean? Do what you want to do. So let's say it took you 6 months to find the right property for you to buy, and in that 6 months, your 3 Bitcoin at 50K a pop became 3 Bitcoin at 80K a pop. Now you got 240K to play with instead of the 150, and you still got 50 that's now 80,000. You know what I mean? That you can draw from as you feel like it. You know what I mean? To make life comfortable for you as you're waiting, you know, for the next bull run to hit. And so, like, this is like, you know, just some thoughts about what I would suggest. Keep in mind, when you do withdraw that Terra or the Bitcoin or whatever, you will pay capital gains tax on it. And, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to have to pay your taxes. But I just wouldn't pay all the taxes at one time. You know what I mean? Because you can at least leave your money in there to accrue gains and make money for you, so that when you do have to pay that tax, the hit is just not so bad. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my 2 cents, man. It's a long video, but I hope it was helpful. Man, holler at me. if you have any questions about anything. You know, I really would hate to see you, my folks out there, not take advantage of, you know, this run to come. Okay, I would really hate for you not to take advantage of this run to come. I really hope that you know, you consider this in a very serious way. Do your due diligence, do your research. Please, if you got any questions at all about anything, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here, I'm available to answer the questions for you that you want to ask. And I urge you to check my questions, check my answers, and make sure that what I'm saying is actually true. You know what I'm saying? I implore you to do that. Okay? So yeah, man, love you. Be safe. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're well. I hope you get this money. It's out here. You know what I mean? And all right, man. Peace.